This presentation is going to walk us through installing the Java Development Kit and the Netbeans Java Development Environment. The first thing we're going to do is look and see if we need to download and install the Java Development Kit, because that's the first thing we need to do. In order to do that, we can simply go to our computer, look at our C drive, and head to our program files directory. Now you can see here I have two. I'm running a 64-bit operating system, so I'm going to have a program files and a program files x86. We're going to look in both those folders. I'm going to start. You may just have a programs file folder, and that's okay. Inside the folder, you should be looking for a folder called Java. If you don't have one here, then chances are it's not installed. I'm going to go check my other program files folder and look there. Look there too. And these folders should be in alphabetical order, and I don't see a Java folder at all. So that means I don't have the Java development environment installed. Now, in order to download the Java development environment, I've gone ahead and made some links available for you in Blackboard. So I'm going to go ahead and go to our Blackboard site. Haven't set up IE on this machine yet. All right, I'm going to go ahead and go to our Blackboard site. I'm going to go to the course documents. I'm going to click on the week 1 link. And inside here, you'll see an online quizzes and lecture section. Anytime I have online material for you to look at, this is where you're going to find it. You'll find any videos in here. If there are quizzes associated with them, they'll also be in this folder. You'll see I've put some links in here for you. And the first one we're going to go to is the JDK installer download. This is going to take us to the Oracle site for the Java SE environment, and you'll see that we have a download link right here. I'm going to go ahead and click on it. And this is going to take us to a page where we can pick the correct Java development environment for our computers. First, we're going to accept the licensing agreement, and you can click on the link right here to take a look at it. You'll see that they have it for a number of different operating systems, including Linux, Mac, Solaris, and Windows. For most of you, you're either going to use Windows or Mac. As you can see, for Mac OS X, there's only one download. However, for Windows, there are two. What we're going to do here is, what we need to do is figure out which download that we need. Microsoft Windows comes in two flavors right now, a 32-bit operating system and a 64-bit operating system. You're going to need to figure out which version of the operating system you have. And we can do that by going to My Computer, right-clicking, and going to Properties. If you're using Windows XP, you'll find the information on the General tab. Or if you're using Windows Vista or Windows 7, you'll see the screen that we have up right now. And if you scroll down a little bit, you can see under System, there is a system type. And it'll say 64 or 32. If it says 32, we're going to use the x86 version. If it says 64, we'll use the x64 version. In this case, I'm running a 64-bit operating system, so I'm going to come down here and get Windows x64. I'm going to click on the link, and it's going to begin the download. I'm going to save the download. I tend to always save downloads in case there's a problem and I have to restart the installer that I'm downloading. This is going to take some time. I'm going to go ahead and pause while this downloads, and we'll pick up right before it finishes. Alright, so our download is completed. I'm going to go ahead and run the installer, and we're going to walk through the installation process. I click through user account control. If you're running Windows 7 or Windows Vista, you may have something turned on called user account control. In these cases, you're going to have to, you may get some additional confirmation boxes when you are trying to run your install. We're essentially just going to follow the wizard. We're going to click next at the first screen. We're going to choose the default directories and options for the installation. Click next. We're going to let it run through its process while it installs. And once this finishes up, you may notice a what looks to be a second install that we'll see here in just a moment. There are two parts to the Java development kit. One is the actual development kit that gives us the ability to build the applications, and the other is the Java runtime environment, which if it's missing, it will also be installed. And the runtime environment allows us to run our applications that we've built. The software development kit provides us with the tools. The runtime environment provides us with the ability to actually execute those applications. And of course, we will need both. And we'll see here in a second if my machine needs both, because we'll see them install. And in my case, I am going to need the Java runtime environment. You can tell that it's the Java runtime because you see JRE7 as opposed to JDK, which is the Java development kit. I'm going to click Next and let this go ahead and run. And this is a fairly quick install. Alright, once the installation completes, you'll see this screen right here. And it basically tells you that the installation was successful. It's gonna talk to you about registering Java for free and all the information that you're going to get. When you click close, a web page is going to open up. That web page is going to include some information for you to register with Oracle, and again, they'll send you some interesting news updates, changes to the Java development kit when they happen. That's purely optional. If you want to register, you can. I have already registered, so I'm not going to do it at this point in time. Once we've got the Java development kit installed, now we can install NetBeans. And we're going to do that by going back into Blackboard and clicking on the NetBeans link. Remember, we're looking for NetBeans 6.9.1. The reason we're going to go with that version is because that's what's installed on campus, and to make sure we can get our programs back and forth easily without any problem. If we click on the link, it's going to take us to the NetBeans website, and it's going to be the download page for 6.9.1. You'll see it in the title over here. You're not going to want to worry about any of these links over here. Instead, what I want you to concentrate on is the IDE language. You'll want to make sure that it's the language that you want to be working in your computer in. For me, that's going to be English. And then, of course, we have our platform. Again, NetBeans is available for Windows, Linux, Solaris, Mac, and you can even build your own if you'd like for whatever operating system you're running. In our case, I'm going to choose Windows because that's what I'm using on my machine. If you're using a Mac, you'll choose Mac. The only one we need to download is the Java SE. We don't need to download any of the other ones. The one we have on campus has all of the options installed in case we want to use it for other classes. But for what you're doing here, you can just get away with Java SE. I'm going to click on the download button below the Java SE column, and it's going to begin the download of NetBeans. You'll get the download page. You may get prompted by your browser for some security check, or are you sure you want to download this? In this case, I am. I'm going to click Save. Just in case I have to execute it after I execute the installer after I've already downloaded it. It'll prevent me from having to download twice. And we're going to go ahead and begin the download process. This is a 50 meg file. Depending on your internet connection, it can be kind of slow. Mine's going to take a little bit. We're going to pause this and we'll come back. We'll pick this back up when the download completes. Alright, so our installation has been finished. You may get a notice that says the publisher couldn't be verified. It's coming from Sun. Sun is now Oracle is a big sponsor of the NetBeans project. I'm going to go ahead and click Run to get the installer started. Again, I'm going to get, because I have Windows 7, I have user account control, I'm going to get prompted. This is going to start the installer process. Now, if you try to do this before installing the Java development environment, you're going to get a pop-up window that says Java's not installed. In that case, I want you to rewind, go back to the beginning, download and install the latest version of the Java development environment. Click on Next. I'm going to accept the licensing agreement. I've read this before, but you may want to read this yourself. I'm going to click Next. I'm going to accept the defaults and click Next. And then I'm going to click Install. This install process will take a few minutes. And when it's done, NetBeans will be installed on our computers. One of the things that I want you to keep in mind with all of this is if you run into a problem installing NetBeans or installing Alice or installing Java on your home machine, you're going to have to do the troubleshooting on that. I'm not going to be able to assist you. CCAC cannot offer individual desktop support to students. It's just not possible for us to do that. We'll help you as much as we can, but it's basically on a best effort, especially when it comes to third-party software that is specific to a class. I can offer as much assistance as I can, but I'm not going to be able to individually work with every student to help them get the software installed. If you run into a problem, keep in mind that the labs on campus are open Monday through Saturday, late on the till 10 o'clock through every day, but Friday till 5 on Friday and 8 to 3 on Saturday. They're available for you to come in and sit down and do your work in those labs. So keep that in mind if you run into problems. Again, we're just going to sit here till this installation finishes, and then we should be just about then we'll be just about done with everything. We'll run a couple of tests to make sure that everything is installed, and then we'll go from there. Okay, when we're finished, you're going to see a couple of options on the last screen. The first one is, do you want to contribute to the NetBeans project by providing anonymous usage data? That's up to you. I don't have a very big internet connection, or a very fast internet connection, so I'm going to go ahead and turn that off. The other option is, do you want to register NetBeans? Again, you'll get developer updates from the NetBeans project. Developer updates, well, it was Sun, it's now Oracle. On Java, you'll get the ability to track your registered products at the Sun connection inventory site, which I believe Oracle is still running. And registration is, of course, free. This is going to be up to you. Now, I have the version on my computer registered because I want to know when they come out with new versions of the NetBeans software, but that's up to you because we're only going to be using 6.9.1 during class. Once you get out of CIT 111 and CIT 130, I don't care whether you upgrade or not, but in this class, we need to use 6.9.1 until the college comes up to date. It's completely up to you whether or not you want to register. Since I've already registered, I'm going to unclick that and click Finish. And I'm done. You'll notice if you close your web browser windows, you'll notice that you should have a NetBeans IDE icon on your desktop, and you'll also find it under Start and Programs. NetBeans. And you'll see it's right there. Additionally, to find out, this question came up in class. In the comments, I want you to tell me what version of the Java development environment you're using. It does make, as we go through this course, we'll discover that there are new features in Java 7 that aren't available in Java 6. There are new and improvements. They're taking stuff out. They're telling people to stop using stuff and use something else that's newer and better for certain reasons. And we're going to encounter those things as we move throughout our class. And so I just want to show you real quick how to tell what version you have installed. The easiest way is probably to go to the control panel and look at your installed programs. You're in Windows XP, that's going to be Add Remove Programs. In Vista and Windows 7, that's going to be Programs and Features. And once this loads, one of the things that we'll see is you'll see Java 7 Update 7. The version of the JDK that we're using is 7.0.7. That's the version of the Java development environment that you're using. In your comments, you can just say JDK version 7. That's fine with me. I don't need to know the individual updates. All the updates are just security patches and bug fixes. In this case, just using JDK version 7 in your comments lets me know which one you built this on. And because if I'm having some problems running it on version 6, then I'll know why. And actually, I'm sorry. That's the runtime environment. Java SE Development Kit 7 Update 7. What you'll see here is 1.7.07. Ignore the 1 dot. Get rid of it. For some reason, they're prefacing all versions with 1 dot. I don't know why. We're using JDK version 7, and how we know that is you can see Java SE Development Kit 7 Update 7, or over here 1.7.0.7. If you just drop the 1 off, you're running 7, JDK version 7, and you can do it that way. There's one other way to check and see what version of Java that you have, and you can do that by taking a look at the Java directory in program files. So I'm going to go to my computer, I'm going to go to my C drive, I'm going to go to program files, I'm going to go to my Java folder. You'll notice that Java folder wasn't there before, and you'll see JDK, that's Java Development Kit 1.7.0_7. Again, we disregard the 1, so that means we're using JDK version 7. And you can just simply put that in your comments. This concludes the installing Java and NetBeans lecture. There'll be a separate, if you're installing Alice for any one of your classes, or for any one of my classes, there'll be a separate Alice installation video that accompanies this that you can watch once you've completed this video. Again, there'll be a separate Alice video. It assumes that you've watched this video. If you have any questions, you can email me, bsimbeck, SIMBECK, @ccac.edu. Thank you for watching.